All right. Whoa, that was weird. All right, everyone. Welcome to a new week of streaming, a new and joyous week of great weather outside, but I am inside sitting at a computer flying a fake airplane. So, a couple new things today. So, first of all, we're flying from Mumbai to Dubai today as per Soda's request. I don't know if he's joined us yet. He might be a little late. But this was his request. This is his livery for Air India. So we are going to fly that today. It's a pretty long flight, 2:45 in the air. So I've actually started everything already. I've got everything hooked up just because I don't want to sit around on the tarmac for 30 minutes getting the airplane ready to go. I don't have time for that. I don't think anybody really wants to sit there and watch that for that long too. So what we're going to do, you can see our flight plan here. Here is what it looks like on Volanta, just right over the Gulf of Oman into Dubai over here. Abu Dhabi, however you really want to say it. Our departure is the Raxit 2A departure. So we're actually going to go up to Sukoon here, this point, off of runway, I believe we're off of runway 32. Yep, out of VABB. Flight level 380 today. So let's get into, so the other thing that's new is I've actually switched over from OBS to Streamlabs. So things might look a little bit different. For the most part, stuff looks the same right now, but I've actually added alerts. So if people come in and subscribe to the YouTube channel while we're in stream, they will actually set off an alert, which is pretty cool. I thought I'd just set that up. Okay, let's get the APU spooled up. Let's call for our pushback while we do that. Let me look at where we're trying to go here. So we got to get down to runway 32. So we should put pushback to the right with our tail here. Hello, Corvo. Sorry I didn't see you when we first joined. All right, so let's get this bad boy all the way back here. Right there. Okay. Request the pushback. Where is our APU at? Close. It's going to do the double thing. This is fun. What the heck? My phone's blowing up. Okay, like I was saying, we've got some nice Air India livery going today. I think this looks really good. This is probably one of my, one of the better liveries that I've seen. It's got the other language. I can't remember what other language. Is it Hindi? They speak in India? I can't remember. Oh my god, that's so frustrating to listen to. Turn on our APU bleed. He just lowered the airport, or the aircraft. Now we're going up again. Let's disconnect our ground power while we're doing this. That's fun. Yep, I spent like a full 10 minutes just calculating on all the takeoff speed stuff. We've already got our performance data in. We've already got our flight plan set up. We've already got weather requests boarded. I didn't really want to mess around because usually I'll sit around on the cockpit for on the ground in the cockpit for like a full 15 minutes just getting the plane ready to go. And that's if there's no problems. So I thought, let's just avoid that and back the plane up right into our friend here, who has decided to taxi right next to us. That's fine. We'll go through them. Who cares? Okay, engine 2 is available. Fire up engine 1. Hold on, my wife is calling me. Let me mute my mic here. Can you hear me now? Sorry. Just had a whole intro spiel and everything was muted. I was saying this is one of our longest flights that I've ever done on stream. We're going to go about 2:45 is our, I think what our flight time is going to be. That's what SimBrief calculates it for. So we'll just have to see what it ends up being. And I was saying that we actually get to fly in the metric system on this plane for once. Usually I do American domestic flights, so we're not actually messing around with any other system besides Imperial. Wow, I hope everything wasn't muted. I had to pick up a call from my wife, so I didn't see that I muted everything. I just tried to mute my mic. Okay, let's get into Flex. Just take off here. Oops, start the chronometer. We're going to need that. Right into takeoff. Not messing about. Ooh, some chop there. A little framey. This is a really long runway. Holy cow. I just drove over a forklift. That was an excessive amount of runway for that. Okay, gear up. Let's pull up the other chart here. And let's get back to arc mode for our map here. Get the distance out a little bit here, like such. And we'll disarm our spoilers. Yes, I hope Soto will show up too. Usually he's a little late to the stream, so hopefully he made some time for us today. 2,000 feet. We'll go down to climb thrust. Yeah, this is going to be a long stream, so I bet you he'll hop in at some point. Right now we're climbing up to 2,000, or yeah, 10,000 feet. That's our first restriction, I think. And then after that, we'll be climbing up to 380, actually real high today, which will be fun. We can disarm our flaps here. And let's see, our transition altitude is real quick too. It's only 4,000 feet. So I'll flip over to standard on our barometric pressure soon. If you want to see the livery, looks really cool. I'm a big fan of it. Really smoggy. I don't know what's going on in India today. I don't know if there's a volcano, or I know there's a lot of active volcanoes in the area, or if it's just smoggy because it's India, but it's very foggy, very gross. Once again, we're not flying with real live flight timings. We are flying with real life weather, but I skipped back in time about 6 hours so that we would have the sun for the full flight. Just so we weren't looking at stars the whole time. You want to be able to see what you're flying over, especially in stuff like this. But we're not going to be flying over much of anything besides the ocean, so it's not going to matter. Our flight route is 99.9% ocean flying today until we get next to kind of the Dubai Peninsula off of the Oman. I think it's the Oman Peninsula over here. Once we get over there, we'll start seeing a little bit of land. But yeah, right now we're just climbing to 10,000 feet. Is it fog or smog? See, I can't tell. It looks like fog. I don't know if Microsoft Flight Simulator simulates smog, like factory smoke. I know if they did, there would be a ton over where we're going because of the attack in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, this just looks like a really low cloud. This might just be fog right now. So, yeah. Something new, I don't know, Ian, if you heard me, I was probably muted, but I switched over to Streamlabs, so we actually have, we actually have a new chat box in the top right, as you can see, and then let's see, let's make that a little bit smaller, just a tiny bit smaller, there we go. And then we've got an alert box. So we've actually got alerts for if somebody subscribes to our channel like that or like that. So that'll be fun. I'm going to set up a donation tip jar too, just so we can unlock the Prime version of this. It's about $20 a month to do Prime Streamlabs, and I thought I don't need to pay for that until I get a lot more viewers, because right now it's just YouTube, and it's, we only have 5 subs, so not in any hurry to spend a bunch of money. We're at 10,000 feet. We're going to stay at 10,000 feet until we get to our next point, which is here at about 25 miles. Yep, say goodbye to land for about an hour and 45 minutes. We will not be seeing anything except for the blue of the ocean. I guess it's a gulf, but it's still ocean water. Engines are throttling back as we do a cruise. See, our engines are settling into cruise mode right now, which they're going to have to kick right back into. Let's see, we're to do 10,000 feet. Let's get our lights off. It's going to kick right back into our climb mode here in about 20 miles or so. I'll kick it back up. No speed restrictions this low though, so that's good. Don't have to worry about that. You donate for once. Okay. Let me see if I can set that up. Let's see, where is that? Streamlabs is pretty cool. I just got into it. Let's see. Wonder where that is. I'll set that up. PayPal. Oh, that's set up already. Let's see. Let's see. Don't want to do that. Okay, we're through this. Let's get up to 380. All the way up. There we go. Let's see, let's edit and put it in the description. Okay, so I put it in the description. Now hopefully when I get tips, I should get something like that. There we go. Cool. That's all set up then. Should be good to go. There goes our land friend here. So, didn't need to use too much fuel. We only got 7,400, which I think is kind of crazy. This jet's that fuel efficient as we are flying all the way over here. I also did not think this flight was going to be as long as it was when Soda suggested it. I thought, oh yeah, that'll be like a 45-minute flight. Obviously, my geography is terrible, so what can you do? So let's zoom out. Yeah. Let's see, what is our total flight distance? I wonder if it's got that. Let's see. Distance 1,040, is that it? Ground distance 1,113 nautical miles. So, actually a pretty long flight, if you think about it. But, oh well. Let's mess around with some Streamlabs stuff. Whoa, whoa. Let's see the super chat option on my phone. How do I donate? I don't know if I have super chat. Let me set that up. Set up super chat YouTube. Let me see, hold on. Might have to agree to some crap. Let's see, settings. Oh, it's YouTube Studio. That makes sense. There it is. I can't use super chats until I have 1,000 subscribers, 30 or 4,000 public watch hours, and 2-step verification. It looks like. But there is a donate link in the chat stream, or on the description for the video that takes you to. Yeah. So I can't enable that because I don't have enough viewers, Ian. But if you go to the the heck? If you go to the description of the video, there is a link to donate. I don't know if I can get this to work. Done. Yeah, that's not going to work either. Oh well. Oh well. Hello, Matilda Toro Incolata. How are you? There we go. We've got a top donors tab now if we want to ever get donations going. But we'll hide it because we have no donations right now. Oh well. Okie dokie. We are at 24,000 feet, climbing 380. And we have lost sight of all land. But that is okay. We shall see some in a little bit. We can pull up our tracker here. So we're almost through or out of our departure. We're still in our departure pattern here. And we don't have to have an altitude restriction for, let's just see how much longer this is going to be. So we have to be at 12,000 feet by IMPED, which is in 900 miles. Does it even have, yeah, it doesn't even have like a time of arrival. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty long one. I'm good. Super chat does activate till 10:10. Yeah, I just figured that out. So we're not doing anything super chat for a while. We do have a stream link in the bio, or not a stream link, a dono link in the bio. If you want to donate, you don't have to. Like I said, this is just a hobby. This isn't something I do as a job. So anything you donate will just be used to go back into the stream. I might buy some flight pedals here pretty quick. So that's kind of what our goal is right now, is just to get some flight pedals, and that'll be about $150, 180 more like, actually. But for now, we're just chilling. Just chilling. Let's see. There's somebody texting me. Okie dokie. Let's see if we can pull up a chat on this. Aw. Dang. Oh well. We don't need it. We've got it on our screen. So let's calculate the time to our arrival point. So what is it, flight distance calculator? I think is what I always use. Nope. It was flight time. No, I have it pinned. There we go. Solve for time. So we got distance in nautical miles, speed in knots, answer in hours, minutes, seconds. So let's wait till we get to cruise, I guess. We've got a tiny bit of a tailwind, which is good. We're not getting blown backwards. Flew with Air India IRL in 2015. That's super cool. Yeah, this I'm liking this livery a lot. It's very HD. It's putting my JetBlue one to shame. But this looks great. I like the windows. I like how there's a little red over the windows. I think it looks cool. I think it's smart. Very, very well designed. Very good looking plane. I'll just leave it in that view for a second. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. Alright, so where are we at here? 316. Whoa, that was some lag. I'm hoping we don't encounter any lag or anything on our trip here. That's like the one thing I'm scared of when I fly these long flights is I'm scared of the sim crashing like halfway through. Because loading up the plane and getting it back in the air and set right is such a pain that if it crashes, I'll probably just fly a shorter flight. Don't really want to mess with it. Let's get a screenshot here. There we go. Let's get that into our Volanta. So everyone knows we're flying Air India here. San Francisco to Delhi was my flight, which was 16 hours nonstop, distance service and entertainment. I want to fly on a 747 really bad, and I know that right now the only airline I know that routinely flies the 747 still is Lufthansa. And they fly it from JFK, which is in New York, to Frankfurt. Almost daily, they fly that flight. And I do want to take a trip to Europe next year, so I've been looking into tickets for a flight there. And I'd probably fly the 747 on the way back. because it's a little, let's see actually. So if we did premium, I want to see what premium economy is like, because I know business is when you get to sit on the top part. I'm pretty sure you get to sit in the top, but I know that's different on each flight. So let's see if we flew out, like, let's do a Friday to that. Let's just see. I'm from Texas. I live in Dallas. I know that Lufthansa sometimes flies out of DFW. So I don't know exactly what I would fly. Let's see. So that is $900 or $1,900 to fly business. Let's see. What are the flight details here? So that's a 747-800 series. To check bags, e-journals, meals and beverage. What is the difference here? Oh, refundable. Okay. So if I pay $200 more per ticket and the flight gets canceled, I get my money back. If I pay $1,000 and my flight gets canceled, I don't get the money back. That's kind of a joke. Let's look at some videos of it. You still want to fly after that last encounter? Yeah, yeah, I'd fly again. Let's get up to 38,000 feet, and then I'll bring you in, and then we can watch a couple of videos about what premium economy is like. On a 747-800 series. Are you talking about last time I flew a 747, Ian? Because I trust pilots that fly 747s a lot more than I do with my wonky simulator. I can tell you that. Should I be calculating ground speed? I think I should be calculating ground speed, right? Or is it airspeed that I should be putting in here? I think I should be using ground speed, which is obviously much higher than our airspeed when I calculate it. Okay, let's just do it. So our distance, let's see, 820. Let's just do 820 miles at 460 knots. So that's saying an hour 46 before we hit this point is what we're looking at for a flight right now. Let's get our seatbelt sign off. Let's get out to this. And let's see if I can bring you into the second screen here. Aha, there we go. That is a big chat window right there. Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video.
This is premium economy.
And here's my premium economy seat. This seat features a nice large screen, a large seat back pocket, a footrest, bottled water.
Oh! There's like a divider.
Nice of legroom.
Huh.
One bonus feature you get in this seat compared to the economy seats is you actually get a pre-takeoff beverage. However, unlike business class, there wasn't much of a choice. The only option for a pre-takeoff beverage today was mango juice. You then also
So I'm assuming when you upgrade for premium economy, you probably get like 10 inches of leg room and like an extra drink, you know? And my thing is, if I'm going to fly international again, there's no way I'm flying in this kind of seat. I can't do it. It just sucks, though, because that flight's not very long. Let's see. This flight's not, like, super long. It would suck to pay, like, $1,900 per ticket if my wife and I go. That's, like... I mean, that's $8,000 just on flights to get to Frankfurt and back. You know? If you do the business class. Because it's looking like it's about $2,000 for a business class seat. And that's on, like, a normal flight. But it also depends on when you fly, I guess. Like, if I fly on a Wednesday, what's it look like? DLH 330-300 from DFW to Frankfurt. Yeah, see, I don't want to fly a 330. I mean, I'd fly a 330 because it'd probably be cheaper. That's my thing. Is what's going to happen is my wife and I are planning a trip to Europe next year, and if we do go, which I want to go really bad, and she does too, it's going to come down to, is it really worth paying an extra how much to get on a flight for a 747? Oh, dude, I've done it, Ian. I don't know if you've been there when I've told the story of how I flew on a 787 MAX from all the way from DFW to Heathrow. That's like a 9-hour flight. And I wanted to, like, scream. Probably about... By the time we hit Greenland, I was like, I want to die. Because I'm a pretty tall dude. I'm like 6'2", and I got really long legs. So I'm sitting there in the seat, and I'm like this the whole flight because I don't have a lot of room. I'm pinched up against the window. My wife's in the seat next to me in the middle, and I'm like this. So I got off the flight, and, like, my whole right side of my body hurt for, like, the entire trip. On the way back, I got an aisle seat in the middle, which was fine. But I was like, dude, this is so much, like this is giving me so much hate for flying economy international. I don't think I could do it again. I'd fly business if I was going to do this again. The problem is it's $2,000 a seat, right? So if I click, yeah, see if I click this, yeah, and that's not refundable. If I wanted a fully refundable ticket for one ticket, right? And let's see what the way back looks like. Let's just see how much I'd have to pay. I'm assuming this is a 747. Yeah, 747. So those are the cheapest flights, right? Yeah, $8,800 just for plane tickets to fly to Frankfurt. We don't even want to go to Frankfurt. What I'd probably do is I'd probably fly JetBlue. It's like one of those things where it's like, it's a pipe dream to fly a 747 at this point. It's so expensive. Even to get on economy, it's so expensive. If I flew to Heathrow, I probably should spell it right? Let's see if we just, like, went... I'm trying to see how far out I can book. Let's, like, book in, like, next February. Like, if we left on, like, probably, like, let's do, like, a Tuesday. Come back on or Thursday to Tuesday. Just, like, the cheapest flights, right? Like, nobody's flying on a Thursday. Or, like, a Wednesday. See, this is $585. That's a 12-hour and 40-minute flight because you get a layover, but I'm assuming this is what puts you on... Let's see. Let's edit this. So they don't even know what plane they're going to fly right now for this. Let's go back. Let's choose a flight that's a little closer. Let's do like this fall. Let's do like a Wednesday to... We probably stay for 2 weeks, so like a Wednesday to Thursday, something like that. Never board on board, yep. See, JetBlue offers like a pretty nice premium economy. Okay, so JetBlue and American, 6.5 hour layover, operated by JetBlue. So let's just do it from JFK then, because that seems like what we're gonna have to fly out of anyway. Let's fly to London. Blue Basic not offered. See, Mint Business. This is what I would fly. That's a 7.5 hour flight, but it's $1,700. Like, but you get a lay down seat, and it's just like, man, dude, it's so expensive. If you want to fly international, and you're doing it on your own dime, and you're not doing it on a company dime, you're not doing it on anything else. If you want to fly international and not sit in a basic seat, it is such a joke how much you have to pay. I know American isn't going to be any better. Yeah, $2,000 for Mint. It's like, ugh. Like, this just looks like a nightmare, dude.
Pillow.
And you're still paying $8,800 for flights. You had a bad experience on an A380, 10 hours, no sleep, hardly gonna get it. That's exact. See, my problem isn't entertainment on a plane. I could entertain myself for hours. The thing about sitting on a plane that I hate is that I can't just stand up and go somewhere else or go lay on a couch, or like I'm not in like a comfy seat. I'm in a plane seat. And what sucked is we got to Scotland, like we got to Heathrow, boarded like a 1 hour flight to Scotland. We landed in Edinburgh, and my wife and I literally slept the whole first day we were there. We were like, we planned it so that we would have an extra day when we got there, and all we did was sleep, because we did not sleep on the plane. We'd been up for like 19 hours straight in between getting to the airport in Dallas and getting to the hotel in Scotland. We didn't sleep for like 19 hours. We were exhausted. Our bodies hurt. Like, we were going to go like see museums and stuff. And like, we woke up the next day and we were like, we just missed a whole day. Like, we literally paid for a hotel for like $150 that night. And we missed a whole day of what we were going to do in Scotland. And I was just like, man, this sucks. I wonder what coast we're seeing right now. Oh, I guess that's just the peninsula. So I'll put it back to like this. Yeah, blue basic. Let's see let's see what they say about their travel info, flying with us, flight experience. And these are all A3. I think JetBlue operates a lot of A320s and A330s. Yeah, I wish they had. See, this is nice. Yeah, see, here we go. So they fly an A321 and A321neo, A220. See, that looks, look at that. The whole cabin is a 3.2. That's a lot of space. 21neo again. The good thing about an A320 in JetBlue is that they only have a 3x3. It's not like a 787 or a 747 or an A380 where it's 343. Business class on Iberia Airlines, LAX to Madrid, everything great on an 11-hour and 20-minute flight. How much was business class, though? I might need to use like a freaking travel agent. Yeah, classic. Don't want to do that. Because, like, man, it's just Fare Finder. Here we go. I want to do 2 adults, explore. This is the other thing that sucks. I don't have like any points with any airline besides Southwest, and obviously Southwest is a regional American airline or a domestic airline. See, look, it just depends on when you fly. Last 2 weeks. Okay, you already read that. Yeah. We fly. What? They just went up to 808. I hit it. It said 240. Now it's 808. So what if I do that? $256, huh? What about Blue Extra? 356, that's not bad. So it's an A321, so you're here. That's kind of nice. See, Mint starts at $2,000, so let's select that. Our flight back. Operated by American. See, I gotta fly American anyway. I'd rather shoot myself than fly American. Yeah. What about British Airways? Might have to use a travel agent when I do this. I'm just like looking. Where does she live now? Who? Cost me $12,000 for the 2 tickets for myself. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I'm paying max $10,000 for the whole thing. And if I'm paying $10,000 for the whole thing, I'm not spending 80 or 90% of that on flights, right? That's so much money. And I just like can't. I'd rather have the extra money to do something when I'm there. So there's, let's do premium economy. Let's see. Let's do TFDi because I know they fly this route. London Heathrow. Jesus, dude. Can I change the time? Oh, there we go. Do it like in September, like on a like fly out on a Thursday, come back on like a Wednesday. It's the most random days. Look at that! It's still $1,000. Aer Lingus. It's just. Yeah, it's a 9-hour flight from DFW, but it's only $1,000. Premium economy, 38 inches of legroom, separate smaller cabin. Okay. Let's see, coming back, it's going to be even more expensive, it looks like. Holy shit! Did you see that? On the... That dude maybe flew within 100 feet of our airplane. Is that somebody else on that sim? No, what the hell? Okay. It's just a random thing. See, that's $4,000. I could do that. I could pay $4,000 for flights. Because when I'm paying $4,000 for flights, that gives me more money, less of money I have to save, and it gives me more money over in Europe. But it's like, ugh. Let's see, American Airlines Premium Economy. This is just like, that just sounds gross, right? Premium Economy American Airlines. So that seat looks nice.
Billy from Gilbert Travel.
Boarding
From
seat.
this perspective on the ground, when flying in the U.S., we took a short walk to
777.
the aft area of the business class cabin, which we have since flown in, so expect a future review on this channel. We found our seats in the third and final row of the intimate premium economy cabin.
That's actually really nice.
J and L. These are perfect.
Like,
We found our seats in
look at this. There's 3 rows in here.
the third and final row of the intimate premium economy cabin. Row
That's not
16,
bad.
J and L. These are perfect for couples, not to have to share space with a stranger. As expected, the seat is comparable to a U.S. domestic first class seat. In fact, almost identical to the Project Oasis seats I flew in earlier this year. Although somehow they are more comfortable, even though this flight was twice as long. Premium economy on American's 777 aircraft is in a 242 configuration. Waiting on our seats at arrival was the
That's actually
our
nice,
amenities
242.
for today's flight and our menu card, which we will take a closer look at later. We were also provided a water bottle.
Siège devant vous, plein de articles le plus petit pouvait être placé dans la pochette du siège devant vous. Deux équipages du transatlantique et deux personnes de...
On American's premium economy service. First you have a Casper branded pillow.
See, they gave that to us on regular economy when I flew American. They still give you the pillow, they still give you the blanket, but your seat sucks.
Kit, the provided generic noise canceling headphones, and a Casper branded blanket. The headphones themselves are quite sturdy and clearly hadn't seen much use given the newer nature of this product. The amenity kit has been updated since filming this, but at the time was a fairly bland pull-on branded kit with an eye mask and earplugs, socks, a pair of lotions, a Casper mattress discount code, which I won't be using, so the first viewer to use it is welcome to, and a dental kit. The seat itself had seen a little use, but was in good shape. We start with a look at the entertainment remote, recline button, and under armrest storage, including the audio port and power. Some have complained the power is hard to reach when seated, as Grace perfectly illustrated unprompted in my filming. The armrest features two small tray tables, one built in, and an additional one which pops out. There was no dedicated water bottle storage in the seat design. The outer armrest contains the tray tables, and on the aisle side drops flush to make it easier to get in and out of the seat.
That's
the
nice.
two-piece tray table features a cup insert when half deploying, and was clearly missed by the cleaning crew, being very dirty when fully deployed. Ew. One thing to note is that while the armrest size clearly beats coach, they are completely hard with no padding. The area for your use forward consists of a mesh pouch and a footrest. Unfortunately, the odd arrangement of the seat really restricts foot room, making it almost impossible to put your left foot in a natural position comfortable for the aisle passengers. It did fit with shoes off, but was still uncomfortable. The footrest is an okay feature, better for shorter passengers. I prefer a full leg rest, which is only offered on the first row of the bulkhead seats. Overall, the under-seat storage space is quite limited. If you are traveling in winter, there is also the coat hook built into the seat. As you can see, the under armrest area will store a tablet and the noise-canceling headphones just fine. The overhead panel features 3 individual air gaspers. Overall, the cabin is airy and open, with the bin stowed, and the purple mood lighting is a nice calming touch. One of the key benefits I enjoy about premium economy on the airlines I've flown in is its small size, which makes it feel a lot less like you are on a bus in the sky. Overall, I was quite pleased with the quality of the included blanket. It was clearly superior to your standard coach fare, and was decently big enough for overnight sleeping use. The included pillow was also comfortable. However, mine ended up being behind my back for support, so a second one definitely would have been appreciated if this was a red-eye.
Probably could have
Now
asked
let's
for
have
it.
a look at the in-flight entertainment system, controllable via remote and touchscreen. The upgraded screen size for premium economy is 10.5 inches. It is very crisp and modern, with a wide variety of features available, from a beverage menu to a seat chat function.
I think the problem was I just did not drink enough alcohol on that flight. If I drank more on that flight, probably would have had more fun.
Options, full recline to premium economy passengers, and good footroom for economy customers in the row behind. The seat does have a generous level of recline, which unfortunately also means the passenger in front of you can decide to recline the entire flight and significantly dampen your amount of space.
Yeah, that's my least favorite part about flying on a freaking airplane. I can't do that.
But I would consider sitting in the bulkhead row in the future to have the dedicated leg rest and not have my space lessened, especially since the space under the seat front is almost useless anyway. Unlike other premium economy products I have flown, while there was a curtain for business class, there was no curtain for economy class. This would have been a very small touch that would significantly enhance the experience, and no real cost or inconvenience for the airline. However, the reason for this became clear once service began. While the flight attendants we had were perfectly friendly and fine, there is clearly no additional service standard on offer here. The same drink cart for coach is rolled to the front of premium economy. And you are
See, that does look like a lot of legroom, though. Sometimes when I sit in a seat, my knees hit the front. Dude, somebody just freaking buzzed us again. Holy hell. Shit.
Served first. The Cubs and snack race ordered the spicy Asian dish served economy meals.
See, this is nice. In economy, you get nothing.
See what I did the rest of the flight? The last time we would see anybody from American until the pre-landing service, many hours later. I had come down with a cold during my trip. By now, I was absolutely exhausted. So thankfully, I actually fell asleep trying to watch a movie for a good little while on this flight.
God, dude, like, the most uncomfortable thing is having to sleep sitting up. When you're like this, you've got a blanket, and you're just like, I can't put my arms down because then the blanket falls, and then I'm cold. It's like, ugh.
Was turned back on a little over an hour out from landing. We were served our pre-landing meals.
Yeah, let's see.
Here I really have to applaud American. Most pre-landing meals are an absolute afterthought.
Hey, Soda. I'm glad you made it. We've started your stream, my stream, your flight a long time ago. And we are, as of right now, here, halfway through. I'd say we're probably a good third of the way there. We've got 656 miles to go until our descent. You're welcome. It says, yeah, about an hour and 11 minutes until we descend. Yep, this livery, I hope you like it. Super cool. Very HD. Looks beautiful. Very happy with it. I love all the details. I don't really know. I don't have a lot of experience with Air India and what it looks like, but I am a big fan of this livery just for its quality. Recommended business class to London. See, I don't want to fill this shit out because then somebody's gonna friggin' call me. See, that's stupid. Cheapest month, September, October. Let's try business. Let's try... I wish there was an option to say, like, give me the cheapest flight. Like, I will plan my vacation around the flight time. Fucking $4,000 per person. On Virgin, too. Operated by Delta and Air France. British Airways, 4,100. 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. See, I don't want to spend $9,000 on flights. I can't do it. British Airways. Lufthansa, obviously. Let's see, if I go from DFW to Heathrow on... Actually, no, I wanted to go to Lufthansa. Also can't get to sleep in incline, I sit. It's not a very uncommon thing to not be able to sleep on an airplane or a bus or a car. I can't. I physically cannot sleep if I'm sitting upright. Like, my brain won't let me sleep. I have to be lying, like, pretty much all the way back. Like, if I could get, like a 50% reclined seat, you know, where I'm like this, I pass out. If I'm like this, it's my legs. I think the thing is my legs. If I could stretch my legs out and just relax my knees, like if I have, like, a footrest, I could probably fall asleep like that. But if I'm sitting there with no footrest, and no recline, I'm like, I'm not falling asleep. Let's try business. September. So Saturday we're flying. Yeah, right now, Soda, we're killing time for about an hour, like I said, until our descent. So I'm just like trying to pre-plan out a trip to Europe I want to take next year. The problem is that flights are way too expensive. Yeah, $185 a month for one ticket to pay that off. That's just so bad. These are all connecting flights too. This one might be straight through actually. A320. Let's see how much business class could be. To turn on a Tuesday, I guess. Yeah, main cabin, $1,200. Oh my god, dude. It's just so expensive. Premium economy flexible. Oh, that's the one where you can like change your flight, your ticket. Because I know there's a way to fly where you book basic economy, main cabin, whatever you want to call it, and then you book it as a flexible ticket for like $100, and then when you get to the plane, they're always selling their unused business and first class tickets like super discounted because they're just trying to fill the plane so you can upgrade. Also have to buy a return ticket. I know, that's why I'm saying like if it costs me $2,000 a ticket, it's like $9,000 basically after taxes and fees and crap like that. And it's like, ugh. I have to start saving like now if I want to fly next fall. If we want to do it that way. Otherwise, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll just take a boat. Okay, let's see. We got to start calculating our descent here. So let's sync that. Let's go over to our chart. What did I say? 12,000 feet is our target altitude. So we got it. Whoa! That was crazy. Okay, 82 miles, it says. So we got to do 600 minus 82 is about 518 miles. We're still traveling 446 knots now. So we have a headwind. So we're about an hour out from when we start our descent still. So. Whoops. Gonna be a long one. Gonna be a long haul. Just texted me. And my dream would be to fly Because they do 800s, right?
Hey guys, Jeb Brooks, Greener Grass. The second. Excited just watching the video of climbing these stairs. This was truly a magical flight. I cannot wait to fly a 747 again, especially Lufthansa's. Keep watching to find out what made this flight so special.
Yeah, that would be
I was seated
so
in
cool.
88A, there in the window. It was a very comfortable seat for the 7-hour flight over the Atlantic. Now, I'll say this. I think flights from the east coast of the United States over to Europe are just too short to enjoy these really luxurious business class products, but we'll do our best over the next few minutes.
If you fly, okay, let's just keep daydreaming here. If I fly from DFW to London, right. Longdon, ha! London, I don't care. Let's see, how many people do we have? Yeah, it doesn't even let me do that. How you doing, Soda? How's your life been? Haven't seen you in a couple days. I think Soda was the one asking about long hauls. This is technically a long haul. It's a 3-hour flight. One stop, one stop, one stop, one stop. So it looks like I have to go through somewhere if I fly out of DFW on this exact day. Is this the lowest fare on a Monday? Access denied. Okay. Alright then. Okay, 2 adults. Let's try that Monday then. We're gonna be like that. Business start. What's the difference between business and premium businesses? Is it like a boarding thing? It's probably boarding. 17 hours, one stop, one stop, one stop. Where does this go through? From... Okay, so you gotta fly into Chicago. And then you've... So, like, this isn't even operated by Lufthansa because that's 2 United flights. On an A320. So it looks like the only place they actually fly out of is JFK. Which, like that guy was saying, a 7-hour flight, that's not that long if you fly into JFK first. One stop, one stop, one stop. Yeah, like, what is this flying? A business... Brussels Airlines, yeah. So, yeah, that's just...
When my seatmate was sitting down, there was really no trouble getting out or back into the seat. The same can't be said if your seatmate is lying down, sleeping.
That's wild.
Like some other airlines, Lufthansa offers a step for shorter passengers to reach the overhead bins. Now for some of the magic. The flight attendants noticed that I was taking pictures and invited me up to the cockpit. I felt like a kid in a candy store. It was such a treat to see the 747-8's brand new cockpit. What an impressive office.
As Dennis Bunnick would say, cheers to a good flight.
Ooh. A cheese
It was a sunny start into a completely relaxed day, and to be honest,
these that you'd need on a flight of this length. Shortly after takeoff, some nuts were provided along with sparkling water and some champagne. A really nice touch, all those bubbles. I also chose to get a little bit more comfortable in my seat, and the adjustments were fantastic, very convenient. As I settled in, I began to
Yeah, it's just like, man, you gotta pay so much money, and then you get on that plane and you watch one movie and they're like, okay, we're landing. It's like, oh my god, that happened quick. Whew. I'd probably fly. Let's go back to JetBlue. I think JetBlue had like the cheapest tickets on a A320. If we flew from, can we fly from DFW? Do they fly out of DFW round trip for 2 adults? Let's do it like that. They probably do like a connecting flight. They probably don't fly out of DFW exactly. You probably have to fly into like Chicago or something. Yeah, layover at JFK. Blue basic. They don't. Oh, so this is a straight A320, is what that is. That's what that is. Yeah, it's just an A320. Is it? Let's look. It's 777, so it's an American flight. Like what? I don't get airline people. Like here's the JetBlue site. You go from DFW to JFK on a JetBlue flight, but then you get on a like So you probably have to fly out of JFK, right? Yeah, it's all American. Whatever.
explore the
We'll go back to watching
entertainment.
videos.
The system can be controlled by the remote. It's also a touchscreen, although I found the remote far more convenient simply because the screen was so far away. Not a criticism, just an acknowledgement of the size of the seat. There were plenty in the way of choices when it comes to movies and television. There was also live TV, which is pretty cool when you're flying over the Atlantic. But who has time for TV when the food is coming? And the food on this flight was really good, from the appetizer to the salad onto the main course.
What is Blue Extra? Oh. A320, yeah. This just, yeah, see, this just looks like a 737 cabin for Southwest. But the... Oh, did he really pick the middle seat? That's unfortunate. Sleeping. Gaming. Those are terrible. This guy's probably like, really? Look at him, he's like, give me a real movie, please. Let's see if we can get like a review. Well, maybe one day. Let's go back to our main screen here. I don't know if Soda is still around. I don't know if you knew how long this flight was going to be. I didn't know how long this flight was going to be. Oh man, yeah, we're still about an hour out. Green liner. What the hell does that mean? There we go. We've got a goal. Cool. And back, how long is the flight from current position? Right now, let's look. So right now we're 480 miles from our point. We need to send in about 400 miles. And how is our speed? We're going 449 over the ground. So if current speed holds, we're descending in 53 more minutes. So not too terribly long. Whoa, do not disengage autopilot, please. That'd be fun. Yeah, not terrible. Not too shabby. Whoa, that's wrong. Delete that one. Move this over here. There we go. Yep. So we'll be on the ground, I would say, in about an hour and 20 minutes. But we'll start a descent. Things will start happening in about 50 minutes. Because we'll also need to I think we have a speed restriction of 230. So we're going to have to slow down while we're descending. So we actually need to start our descent at about 100 miles out, I would say.
Left. Right.
Actually, no, I have a descent calculator. What am I doing? Where is it? Yeah, here we go. So we're at 38,000 feet, and we want to go down to 12,000 feet. Our speed is 445, and speed is, I think it was 210 or 230. 230. Our wind is, I think it's a -9 knot wind. So we actually need to descend at 104 miles away. So, how do you calculate total fuel in flight? What you do, Ian, is you actually go to SimBrief if you know how to use that. And you know, this flight plan is like 40 pages or whatever. Really, unless you're getting really hardcore into the simulation, you really only need the first 3 pages, and it will tell you all you need to know. It'll tell you your cost index, and right here, this is your block fuel. This is the recommended amount of fuel to put in the aircraft. It'll tell you like, hey, you need, you'll have 8,000 kilos of fuel at takeoff. You're going to burn about 230 at just the taxi, startup and taxi. So this is where you want to look. This also tells you your flight time right here. 2 hours, 45 minutes is what it predicted. This is your route. And then again, down here, it has more fuel information. So your fuel is 8.3 block, and your takeoff weight and everything. And then you just plug that into your McDo here. And then if you're flying the A320 fly-by-wire, there's also a spot to plug it in into the fuel calculator. Not calculator, but like the place you input your fuel data.
Anti-ice auto. Recall check. Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Rise clear. Your forward taxi checklist completed.
All right. Taxi, please.
It makes it an eco flight.
Turn right on Bravo, hold it tight.
Right from Bravo, hold which side center? We have 20 echo.
Okay.
Straight, first right.
Alternative fuels and basically
okay, understood.
optimizing the flight path to catch the tailwinds is what it sounds like.
So I'm going to turn it first on the right.
Beaver 777 Charlie, give way to the outbound company at Yankee, then continue out to the gate.
And Titan is going to be basically link 21.
Check.
We believe it's 520, sorry, about right on 653, hold short of Alpha, Beaver 777 Charlie. Beaver 5 give way to the outbound company, then inbound to under Yankee 525. Company 5 is Yankee 525. Beaver 45 Tango, continue Bravo 7 Lima Hotel, contact London Control 120.
Turn left now.
Bye-bye.
What are you talking about? Where does it ask you how much fuel do you want to use? If you go to SimBrief, and I go to create a new flight, there's nowhere to input fuel unless you override it. You can also input how much extra fuel you want. If I need, reserve fuel 45 minutes, you can put all that in there. But there's no spot in SimBrief to actually input your own fuel data unless, because you can just do that in the plane if you want to. You're doing the research paperwork for your first book. Well, that's awesome. Hope it goes well.
Turning left now.
It's hard writing a book.
And Alpha is going to be the first on the left.
Check.
Thank you. Behind the departing air Lingus A321, line up runway 27 right behind.
Behind departing air Lingus, runway 27 right. Line up and wait behind it. You have 20 echo.
Alright, understood. You can see the crew. Okay, stop bars are off.
Check.
Alpha 327 right. As soon as it's moving, I enter.
Roger.
And we go do the old shebang and do the before takeoff checklist.
Roger. I'll go on terrain.
Yep, I'll be on weather radar.
Before takeoff checklist briefing.
Is confirmed.
No change.
Yep.
Cabin crew seated. Before takeoff checklist completed.
Before takeoff checklist complete. Crew is seated.
Crew seated.
Beautiful.
We approach. Hello to the 439 miles on example 13, nice into right. FTF 20 Echo, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff, surface wind 190 degrees, 9 and up.
Clear for takeoff runway 27 right, FTF 20 Echo.
Okay, 27 right, identified, approach is clear. We are clear for takeoff. We do a rolling takeoff.
Roger.
Okay. Alright, takeoff.
Speed at 556 Quebec, hello, hold out for 3, report ready.
Hold up 3 and we are ready for the departure. Speed at 556 Quebec.
Take 0, hello, hold out for 3.
Thrust ref.
Ready.
Check.
Hold out for 3 and we're ready for feedback.
Thrust is set.
Speed at 556 Quebec, fire Alpha 3, line up runway 27 right.
80 knots.
Hold.
3 line up 275, speed at 556 Quebec.
Speed at 9 Charlie Golf, good afternoon, hold Alpha 3, report ready.
Go 9 Charlie Golf, hold Alpha 3.
Shoot, that thing's heavy.
Rotate.
Shamrock 3,
Positive climb.
Gear up. Head up.
Check.
Autopilot.
Check.
Thrust ref. Pin up speed.
Check.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear what your book's about.
Speed at 8630, contact ground 1.
This thing is so cool.
Bye-bye.
21855, speed at 8630, bye-bye.
This is a big flight deck.
Speed at 413, servicing 200 degrees, 8 knots, runway 27 left.
Let's see, let's get back to the main screen here. So we are 400 miles out. We need to descend in about 300 miles exactly, actually, from what my descent rate was. I guess that's just... Okay, so we're going... Going like 245. We've got a minus 14 knot headwinds. Or is it plus 14? No, it's definitely minus 14. That's actually going to help us when we get to the descent. The problem is, right now it's slowing us down by quite a bit. Oh, well.
.787 Dreamliner crew have a secret rest spot. Well, this is how it works on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. For long-haul flights over 9 hours, there are up to 4 pilots on board, who take turns to rest when the plane is at cruising altitude. On a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, the pilot's rest cabin is usually positioned
Goes
behind the
another
cockpit
guy
and above the first class compartment. The stairway to the pilot's rest cabin is disguised behind a security-coded door. The cabin usually has one business class seat and 2 bunk beds. In addition to the mattress and pillows, thick curtains are used to separate the bunk beds to give the pilots a small amount of privacy. The rest cabin for flight attendants is usually located at the rear of the plane, just above the economy passenger compartment. The staircase is again hidden from the passengers, behind a security-coded door. Depending on the design of each plane, a compartment can usually accommodate at least 5 flight attendants. The bunk beds are fitted with seat belts, protecting the crew from falling during turbulence. The rest cabins are essential for long-haul flights, as they prevent crew members from overwork during flight duty.
Private 787. Wow. That's crazy.
Good morning, guys from Dubai Air Show. Today I'm going to show you something amazing. The plane behind me, as you can see, is the world's only privately owned BBJ Dreamliner. It is a Boeing 787, a private Boeing 787 Dreamliner.
Hello, Sam. Welcome to Dear Jet. Let me show you. Shoes off?
Take my shoes off.
Yeah, please take a seat.
So there's something behind. I'm walking into a wall of panels, showing you, oh my gosh, there's layers on this wall. Okay, further exploring. Good morning,
this is
girls.
creepy.
Good morning.
Wow, look at this. This is a flying palace,
This is too
guys.
creepy with all these people standing there. No thanks. London to Sydney.
Qantas non-stop research flight from London to Sydney. Here I come. And we will see double sunrise today.
We will see double sunrise today. High five.
Wow.
1919, 100 years ago, it used to take 28 days from UK to Australia. Beautiful. This is the magic moment of the day.
Trying to stretch to the locker.
Sitting can be exercised as well. Can you show me the sitting exercise? You could even take up more passengers. Everything on this flight is actually special. I think I'm
Double sunrise. Bring it on. Departing London today, 19 hours and 17 minutes. Darkness when we depart, bright sunshine in Sydney when we land.
And we will see double sunrise
We
today.
will see double sunrise today.
Fantastic. History making. High five, Captain.
High five.
Yeah, this guy's pretty good. I wonder how you get this gig.
Now it's 5:40 a.m. I'm sitting in seat 8A. And look at the pillow here. It says Qantas Research Flight.
Thanks very much, London. We'll see you when we come back next time. Thank you.
This is so staged. Like, look how many views this guy gets, right? He's got 2.91 million subscribers. He's getting 7.8 million views on this video. Qantas 100% flew him completely for free on this flight just to get all of this exposure. And it works. This guy's genius.
Push back a few minutes early. We're heading towards the end of runway 27 left for departure. And there you have just the takeoff. 19 hours, 17 minutes to Australia non-stop. In 1919, 100 years ago, it used to take 28 days from UK to Australia. So today is 19 hours we'll get there. And today's flights will be overflying the following countries from England to Netherlands, Germany, Poland, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Philippines, Indonesia, and on to Australia.
Hi there.
Hello there.
I've just got the menu for you, and there's also a little bit of information in here about the flight as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Historic event, there you go.
Thank you.
So Sam, on this flight we've locked the windows closed in the forward 2 sections where our customers are sitting because we have a trial on this flight for the Charles Perkins method of getting everyone onto the time zone in Sydney. So if you'd like to look out the window at the first sunrise, you'll be able to do that from the cabins further back.
This is the captain. My name is Helen Trenery. Also on the flight deck, First Officer Ryan Gill, Second Officer Chris Agnew, and Second Officer Tina Gray. So in honour of your place in this epic adventure, we acknowledge the personnel who took part in the top secret double sunrise flights that Qantas conducted during World War II.
There's another dude. Look at this. This is
from the Japanese, and we fly for up to 32 hours non-stop. The crew and their passengers would see 2 sunrises on their flights, giving them the title of the double sunrise flights. Today, as we've departed London in the wee small hours of darkness, the first of our 2 sunrises is just about to occur on the horizon to our east.
That's because this.
Beautiful. This is the magic moment
flying
of
this
the
way.
day. The first sunrise we saw on this flight, just about 40 minutes after takeoff, and as we're flying towards the east. Most passengers are in the front cabin on this flight. They will acclimatize to Sydney time zone, which is actually now in the evening at 5:45 local time.
That's actually really smart.
All changed into a very comfy.
So you like take off and immediately go to sleep.
The big flying kangaroo. But this is not just the normal Qantas pajama. Something special. Let me show you why. It's a Qantas research special.
So the first one is going to do just natural walking.
So they're doing stretching and.
1,000 kilograms. So
This is flight so empty.
Research, even the food.
lights out.
I just woke up. We're now halfway between London and Sydney. About 9.5 hours to go. Just coming to the galley, doing some exercise, stretching.
So on a traditional flight, we'd have a large selection of snacks and items to choose from. Total weight of 1.5 tons for business class with food and equipment. And on this flight today, because of the length and nature of the flight, we're limited to 900 kilos.
Ways watches which look like an 84 Casio, however they're actually quite technological and they're quite advanced. So they measure the amount of light that's coming into them. We also have alertness testing. So
using people like guinea pigs.
Flight.
Very proud of you.
It's wild. That is wild. Air Zimbabwe is the world's most dangerous airline. Okay. The only thing I don't like about these videos is how staged it can be. Like, this dude is very clearly getting a very premium experience, and it's not the normal way that they would treat a passenger. Not like they treat everyone like shit. It's just like, yeah, this guy definitely gets
Welcome to the land
the
of
best
classic
treatment
aviation.
possible.
Isn't that cool? 727 DC-9 mini classic airplane here, and today we're gonna fly in one of these.
DC-9? Says he's flying in a 727.
The 727 has this feature. There's a back stair coming out from the backside.
It's a cargo plane.
So how much cargo do we have today?
Today we have 14.7 tons, around 15 tons, but normally we can carry up to 22 tons of cargo. General cargo, like this machinery, equipment, we have fruits and vegetables.
I can actually see their carrots, mango, through the little hole in the boxes.
Go poking
how
it.
often you do this milk run, sending supply to Somalia?
It depends on how many flights we have. Mostly we have 2 to 3 flights every week. These are fish and some meat. We have meat here.
Oh, the meat in the cooler.
Yeah.
Am I going to do the double sunrise? Dude, I don't think I could actually... I mean, what is that, 16 hours? My computer would explode. I would explode. I'd have to take naps. I couldn't do it. Nairobi, Kenya, we flight on from last week. Yeah, that's why I kind of I clicked on it because it looked familiar. Yeah, Soda, I don't know if I could sit... I mean, it'd be really cool. It'd be one of those, like if I had, like, a subscriber goal, you know? Like, we have a subscriber goal. It's 10 right now. If I had a goal where it was like, if I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a 16-hour flight. I'd probably have to get a new computer for that. I'd probably have to install a bunch of systems in case the sim crashes. I mean, there's no way. I mean, there's just, right now, there's just no way I'd do this. My max flight time would probably be about 5 hours. I'd do a 5-hour flight. You know, we're doing a 3-hour flight right now. It's not that bad. A 19-hour flight is like, boom.
Really?
The weather conditions are good?
Yeah, ready to go now. Ready to go.
Okay.
So they're just like Oh, he's staying on the plane.
Issue.
We have an issue right now. We have an issue with the oxygen, the quantity, because we have dangerous wood, and we require, in case of split, use the oxygen 100%.
Yeah, now we'll have to spend some time go to replace the oxygen bottle.
So the door was closed, and then Captain told us we have an issue with the oxygen bottle because carry those fresh food and vegetable. So he's ran off to get.
I wonder if they normally pressurize cargo planes. I mean, it would make sense for them to, because you can't.
It's been a while I've been a free man cockpit. Just love it. I don't know. I get so excited. Even I'm very tired.
1 p.m. on screen, but it shows 11 a.m. on description. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's because I didn't change that. 1 p.m. Thank you for noticing that. Yeah, I didn't change that. I used to go live at 11 a.m. every day, and now we're doing 1.
We have actually 2 captains flying, and of course a flight engineer operating the throttle power on takeoff and monitoring all the gauges.
16,500 hours today. In this airplane, in this particular airplane.
16,000 on 727?
On 727.
Is your favorite airplane?
Yeah.
I always wondering, what is it flying in this region like? Especially going to Somalia and all that. It must be very challenging.
It is a challenge. The environment is different.
Our arrival time, Soda, we're about 200 miles out from our descent, so we should be down about 45 minutes. Yeah, Matilda, I saw it. Yeah, I think you told me about this last time you were in my stream. It sounds cool. I like the idea. I had a flight time tracker, Soda, but I could not get the stupid thing to work. I don't know what was going on with it.
Somalia, Nairobi, everywhere. Johannesburg, also my accent is so different. So sometimes maybe they don't understand me, and also sometimes I don't understand them.
Let's see.
Yeah, already we have replaced the oxygen bottle. Now we are good to go.
Off. Hydraulic system 54. Start pressure.
Yeah, see how that's like, it's not doing any of the ATA stuff?
Pressure light off. Fuel is on. Start at 5:35. See that? 575. Fuel on.
What's our flight? OMDB.
Yep.
Okay, there's our arrival. I figured it out.
Clear left, clear right. Windows. Close. Hydraulic system pumps. On. Doors. Close. Detail skid. After such a is complete.
Lights on, brake release. Start taxi.
Overlay.
Set for departure.
Geo dampers.
On and check.
Flight controls.
Check.
Speed pick-up warning.
Check down and 10.
Stabilizer trim.
4.5. Green band set.
Flaps.
50-50 green light. Okay.
EPR negative feedbacks.
214, 216, 214 speed. 1.
Whoop. There it is. Okay, there you go. 1027 Zulu. Now I wonder if I can get a current time up there. So right now it's 1952 Zulu. So we're looking at about 30 minutes, I'd say. Sorry, I'm doing all that right now. Yeah, about 30 minutes there, Soda. Should be on the ground. i7. Have you changed your graphics settings, Soda? I have a pretty good computer, but I had to turn most of my graphics settings to low or medium. And I would also check that your resolution matches your screen.
So we took off and climbed very quickly. Now reach our cruising altitude, 27,000 feet.
I would make sure that you look at your graphics settings and make sure you're not running other programs on your computer that are super intensive on your RAM.
Seeing 727 flying strong
That would
in
be my
Africa
opinion.
after 40, 50 years, there is not much of a luxury in the cockpit, or there's no flight attendant serving you a meal today. But what do you have is raw aviation mega fun. Today we carry one loadmaster and one flight engineer. They're sitting right behind the cockpit here. So the 72 is a classic airplane. It doesn't have the auto panel at the top there like the 78 or 350. The autopilot panel is actually at the bottom, and it's a very simple one. It's even simpler than the one I fly in general aviation. And there's only a navigation, you can hold your altitude. It doesn't have the auto throttle.
Guys, Mogadishu is a very exciting area, too much congested traffic. You know, we have to pay attention, especially in the communication. All procedures in case of evacuation to the sea. We came from this radian, so to lap is the point. The grid mode on this area will be 2,300. From here we're gonna fly.
I guess I need to move that chat overlay now. Do you have an SSD, Soda? I know that is a big deal. I know that another thing is your, it sounds weird, but your internet speed. If you use live data when you're flying, like you use live timing, live traffic, and live weather, you're actually capped by your data speed because the sim needs to download. It needs to download all the sim data and upload it into your game at the same time. So that could actually cap you, which is, it's a weird thing, but that's true. It sounds off. I know. Okay. Yeah, we've still got a while. Trying to think, man. I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Try that one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's so many settings in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You might honestly have one setting that's just goofing the whole thing up, and you wouldn't even know it because you'd have to go through and flip them all. It's kind of a joke sometimes. The sim is very, very intensive, especially if you're. I would say one of the things too is also look at where you're flying and your airport scenery. If you don't experience that at cruise or on the ground, it's just during takeoff and landings and maybe during taxi. It's probably a scenery thing. Your computer is just eating too much RAM trying to generate the trees and crap. Turn that down. I don't know. I mean, really, honestly, you only need about 25 frames. That's the weird thing about flight simulators I've noticed is that if you're completely fine with about 25 frames a second, it's pretty smooth. Like, I'm getting 30 max. You can see in that counter, like, I get about 21 to 30 frames a second, and you can't really tell, because most of the time, all that matters is your controls, and those seem to go through fine. Top of descent, let's calculate it. We're about 100 miles out from it. We need to start descending. What did I calculate? Let's calculate it again. So we're at 38,000 feet. We need to get down to 12,000. We've got a 22 knot headwind that's going to knock us down. We are at, let's see, 439 ground speed, I'd say. So we're 101 miles out from starting our descent, according to a calculator. And so let's see, 101 from 250. So we need to start, what is that? About 140 miles away. We're 140. That's what we need to start at. So let's see here. So we are 140 miles away from top of the descent. We're going 439 knots. 440 knots. Top of the sentence in 20 minutes. Did I like the VABB? Yes, I did, but it was really hazy. I don't know, Soda, if you go back and watch the beginning of the stream, you'll kind of see it was like, it was weirdly smoggy on the ground. I don't know if it was smog. I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator does that, but it might have been fog. And I've never experienced that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I couldn't really see anything. I got off the ground and it was like a opaque blanket laying over the ground, so I didn't really get to see much. Oh look, we get to see land again. I was wondering when we get into that. There's a friend in a, this looks like a 777. Flying from London to Singapore? Hold on. Y'all need to see. Just flying his heart out. My mic is still muted. Is it? Oh, it totally was on that screen. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. But anyway, like I was saying, this dude... I keep doing that. I keep accidentally muting my mic. This dude is 6 hours away from completing a 15-hour flight. He's flying from London to Singapore. Yeah. Sorry, Ian. I don't know if my mic was muted. Top of descent is about 15 minutes now. We'll be there soon. We'll be there soon. We are not at 39,000 feet, by the way. That thing is goofing. We're at 3.8. Unless it's goofed on my screen, who knows. Okay, about 200 miles out. Still about 120 miles from our descent. What's this guy flying? Man, dude, everybody's flying the... That's probably a 737. You'd have to hope. This guy's flying from Dubai to London. There are some dudes, they're flying some long flights today. That's crazy. This guy, what's he flying? I'll show y'all. I always like doing this when I'm looking at, like when I'm flying for a while. Look at this guy. He's flying our exact route, except he's continuing on to Baghdad. Like you find these people in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, where are you flying? That's not. Okay, so he flew from Barcelona down to Cairo. It's a pretty long flight. This guy's flying around Italy, Cairo to somewhere. Oh, he's almost there. Now, look at these people. These are the people doing the Atlantic flights. Or is he flying here? Oh, wow, he's flying to this little island. Here's our Atlantic flights. London to JFK. Charles de Gaulle to Canada, looks like. 747-800. Frankfurt to San Francisco. Wow. I'm shocked by these long flights people are doing. So what was that again? EDDF to KSFO. And he is in the biggest jet you can get. That's a 12-hour flight. And he's got about 6 hours left. I just want to know like what these people are doing. Like I'm gonna hop on Flight Sim, I'm gonna turn on a flight, and then I'm gonna hit autopilot, and then I'm gonna go to work. I wonder if they do that. This person's flying London to JFK. What are these people doing? Vancouver to Frankfurt. That's a long flight. I also like looking at how, as you get more north, it gets more curvy because of the Earth. Let's see this person. LAX to Dubai. Bro. So he's flying to where we just took off, or where we're headed. What plane was he in? He's in a 737. It's a 20-hour flight. Can you even do that? This dude's got 10 hours left in his flight. I mean, that is literally an entire day of flying. A 20-hour flight. What the heck is that guy doing? He's in a 747. He's going from Toronto to Japan. South Korea to San Francisco. Tokyo to Frankfurt. Look at that insanity. It's just wild, man. That is just wild what these people will fly. Okay, 170 miles. We're about 70 miles from top of descent at this point. So I would say, what time is it right now? 20:08. Oh, 9:57. Yeah, we're still about 30 minutes out. Yeah. Yeah, time to go, 30 minutes. So, not too bad. It's a pretty long flight. It's the longest flight I've flown in a long time, man. Pretty long flight. I guess it's the same as flying two shorter flights, though. You know, it's about 3 hours on the stream. Is this a flight you've flown before, Soda? Okay, let's see. Volanta says top of descent is going to be in about 5 minutes. So let's get zoomed in on our map here. Let's see. We're about 150 miles, so about 40 more miles we'll start our descent. I'm going to go get some water real quick. There we go. Where's Goose? He is asleep, I think, in the front room. He had a very long walk yesterday, and he does not want anything to do with me. He is mad that I will come up this morning to take him out, so don't know if he will be making an appearance. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Okie dokie. Right, 118 now. Let's do one final descent calculation. A headwind of 30 knots now. Wow. So we're only going 428 with a 30 knot headwind. 99 miles is what it says. Actually, no, this is 253. This is 82 miles. I'm going to go with 99 miles. I don't want to mess around and miss a descent. So, let's get that pulled up. So we're going to actually, when we fly this route in, we're actually going to come through this way, past the airport at 7,000 feet. Then we're going to turn in because we're hitting this back runway. Let's actually plug in our approach data. Whoops. Let's see our QNH. Actually, I'm going to have to pull this from over here because this isn't updated. So, 2820 knots. Wait, what is that talking about? So, 250 at 7 knots, 23 degrees, 1016. 1016, 23 degrees, and, oops, 250 at 7. 250 at 7. Boop. Let's go over, check our approach chart for 12 right. Looks like our minimums for a Cat 3. Oh man, dude, this is so fucking annoying to read. 211. And our transition altitude is 13,000 feet, actually, game. So we're going to land at about 121 knots. That's the goal. That's the goal. So we are 98 miles out. We missed it. Cap. Let's start descending here. We want to get down to 12,000 feet, I believe is what I kept saying. 12,000. Use that. Boom. Hit it. to SimBrief calculate total fuel options for you because mine is blank. In SimBrief? Yeah, in SimBrief, it's right here. If you plug in a destination, if you go to SimBrief, when you're doing SimBrief here, right? I just talked to Soda about this. If you're doing SimBrief, the 3 things you have to plug in to get all your data, you got to plug in a departure, arrival, and an aircraft type, and it'll give you your fuel. And also make sure all of this is ticked if you can. This should all be auto. This you can put what you want. But this, if those 3 are in, that should give you a fuel, a block fuel to put in your plane. And that is right here. So I don't know, I don't know what you did. If you're not getting that, let's get our seatbelt sign on. Oh. I guess we can calculate out our landing if we're here. So our runway altitude looks like it's going to be like 0, isn't it? What the heck? $60 Runway heading for 12 right is 119. Our slope is 0. Our distance for landing 4,477. Our approach speed is 121, I think, is what I calculated. Yeah, so we can use low. We'll use low. We could come in a little bit hotter than 121 if we really do. This is a massive runway. And it makes total sense because most of the time they're landing like A380s and 747s here. So yeah, we can use low. We can use low brakes and the reversers. And that's probably all we're going to need, I would assume. Oh. Wonder how I get that to start. Yeah, well. We're actually descending pretty quick. We're already at 26,000. Wonder where the F1 track is. Wonder if we'll get to see it coming in. Yeah, the Yas Marina circuit's all the way on the other side of the map. Pretty sure. if we can get a world map up here. It's on that little peninsula there. It's like right here. It looks like. Well, maybe not. What did I do? Is that it? Yeah, there it is. You can see it right there. I guess you can't see it, but yeah, we're not flying anywhere close to it. Oh well. That is okay. Keeps beeping at me. Okay, let's get back here. We've got everything calculated out. We still got a minute before we get there, a minute or two, a little while at least. So once we get down to 120, I'm going to slow down to 230 knots. And then we've got to go to 11,000 feet, 10,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000 is our steps. Did you figure out your sim brief, Ian? What amount of reserve fuel do you like to use for your average normal flight in pounds? So the best way that I've seen to do reserve fuel, Ian, is if you're in sim brief, which you should be, if you come over here, when it's doing its calculations, you can actually do reserve fuel 45 minutes is usually what I do if I'm going to do that. I haven't done reserve fuel in a while because reserve fuel, unless you're playing with VATSIM or like realistic ATC and weather, you won't need it unless you fly into a storm and have to go to your alternate airport, which that's already calculated into your flight plan. Like you're gonna see, I'm gonna land with probably 2,000 kilos of extra fuel, like way more than that. So they already calculated in, but if you're gonna be realistic, about 45 minutes for, say, missed approach, circling, holding pattern for the runway, that kind of stuff, go arounds. 45 minutes should do it, and then that will actually, or you could do extra fuel, you know, how much you want to do. I don't mess with that, but then that'll factor into your flight plan as well. It'll tell you, it'll kind of calculate things for you, or you could just punch in a number that you want, honestly. Zoom this out again. All right, so we're 34 miles away. Let's get over to the performance page now. That. There we go. That looks better. Time to go seems better than ETA. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, ETA, 12 minutes-ish. Alright, switch over to that. I think it's should be 1016 once we land, but right now it's 1012. That's not going to mess with any of that. Okay, and we've still got a little while before we get there, so that gives us time to get down to 230 knots, actually. Boop, there we go. 230. Oh, that's the pit where they threw Batman at Dark Knight Rises. Not a lot to see out here except for that kind of stuff, and then I'm sure once we get closer to Dubai it's going to look really cool. We're going to see it's going to be off of the left side here. I am pretty excited to see how this looks. Nicky Lopez singles, scores, Royals extend their lead 6-0. Let's go! The Royals are winning a spring training game. We just throttling up massively right now. Yeah, so we can maintain our speed. All right, 230 knots, 12,000 feet. We're not even close to impede or imped, whatever you want to call it. We're doing real good here. Almost onto our arrival chart. It's nice to get some viewers to stick around like you guys. So it makes these flights a lot shorter. Not that it's terrible to do, but it just makes it more fun to talk about stuff. Okay. No problem, Ian. This is interesting. We'll actually have a floor. So we have 2 flight ceilings. Then we have three flight ceilings. Then DB423 is a flight floor of 8,000 feet. Then we're back to 2 ceilings, 6,000, and then our approach is supposed to be at 3,000. So. Okie dokie. It's supposed to be off that way. Over yonder. It's supposed to be the Dubai's. Inoperable. All right, we're through IMPED, so let's get our altitude down to 11,000, as that's the new flight ceiling. And then we'll go down to 10,000 for DB517, just here. Then we got to stay above 8,000, and then we got to be below 7,000. So we're going to go to about 8,000 feet. It's just easiest to fly right to that number. Doesn't make sense to not. Make sure that our QNH is updating. And we're about 40 miles out from Dubai right now. Actually get close to punching in 10,000 once we clear this point, about 2 miles. We should be flying into 12 left or whatever, honestly, with the wind. But I don't feel like dealing with it. Do not feel like dealing with it. Because our wind right now is going to be 250, 7 knots. Yeah, it's coming from this way. So it doesn't really matter. It's going to push us though, instead of pull us, but oh well. Probably what they would have me do though is land 30 left. Nah. Not today. Not dealing with it. Stream idea. Can you in future get a camera pointing towards the throttle and yoke so you can see the setup? I could, but I'm going to wait on that because that whole setup is going to cost about $50, and I would probably only use it for takeoff and landing, which is the thing that stinks. Otherwise, I would totally do it. Like, it would be nice to have, but you wouldn't really need to see it that often. Okay, 10,000 feet were marked. Unless it's got to be over here. Unless it's just all the way down the coast and we're missing it. Yeah, Ian, I'd like to do that in the near future, but I need some... First thing I need to do is get pedals, because I don't have those. Once I get pedals, I'll probably work on getting another camera and integrate it with Stream so that I can have 2 cameras going. and get some throttle going. But until then, we will make do with what we have. Okay, let's get down to 8,000 feet. And let's bring our indicated airspeed down once we get closer to that. Because we need to be at 210. It's a weird song noise to have a phone going off. It's actually really annoying. All right, 9 miles to 8,000 feet, and then we'll slow down. Try not to use speed brakes here. I feel like I use them too much. Alright, 8,000 feet. Let's slow down actually. Select its altitude again. Let's actually do flaps 1. Those crazy roads just going to nowhere. All right. Next point coming up, we'll go down to 7,000 and then 6 actually. Start that now. I guess all the tall buildings of Dubai must be that way. I'm not seeing them. There's our airport, so we're going to fly all the way out, loop around, and land. Even though it's a 20 knot headwind, we should have landed the other direction. It's fine. It is fine. Alright. There's a tall building. Let's see out of that window. All right, once we get through this next point, I'll start slowing down because we have an indicated airspeed ceiling of 108. We have to be at 185 knots by passive, which is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16 miles from DB421. It's actually kind of nice how they do this. It's all 4 miles apart. So yeah, by the time we hit here, we've got to be 185 knots, which we can get to very easily. Probably have to put more flaps out, but... And then once we hit that and we're at 185 knots, we got to drop down to, what is it, 3,000 feet for our approach? Yeah, 3,000. Yeah, easy enough. We'll call him back in a little bit. So we are very close to landing. All right, let's get our airspeed down to 185. Let's do another set of flaps soon. I thought that was wrong. Okay. I think it might be the Burj Khalifa. All right, 185, there we are. Good views, that's totally what that is. All right, 8 more miles, and then we'll start descending, I think. Intended to run home run. Wow. Okay, okay, okay. What the heck is that? Is that another plane? Totally is. wonder if they just took off or something. They're really low. No reason to be that low unless you just took off. Okay. Let's drop down to 4,000 feet actually, or 5,000 feet right now. And then once we get through DB414, we'll have a couple miles. We'll have 8 miles to drop another 2,000 feet before we hit our approach. And on our approach, we have 2.6 miles to line up on the glide slope. Should start turning soon as we descend. I do the, so it kind of depends. Basically, the best way to navigate with SimBrief is to use Navigraph, because sometimes Navigraph and SimBrief and Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is the weird thing. They're supposed to all use the same charts, but they can all be off a little bit. So your approach in Microsoft Flight Simulator might be different from your points in Microsoft Flight Simulator could be different from SimBrief, which could also be different from Navigraph, which is kind of an issue. The best way to do it, that's why if you ever see me start up a stream, you'll see me go through the flight plan a couple times just to make sure everything looks right. Because depending on your departure, so SimBrief does not program departures and approaches, because SimBrief is just a flight plan. Your departure and your arrival are going to be based on the wind speed at the airport for the most part, unless you just ignore it like I did today. In that case, you'd use Navigraph to make sure that your points are the same, because when you use Navigraph, it'll change some of your points in your flight plan from your approach and your departure, depending on what you're doing for your departure and your approach, if that makes sense. And then what I do is so I'm in Navigraph right now, and I use this almost exclusively once I get into the plane. I don't actually use SimBrief past the initial flight planning, because it doesn't know what it's doing with anything besides cruising altitude stuff. And then from Navigraph, you can also discern your heights and everything like that. So let's get down to 3,000 feet real quick. I'll use custom waypoints when I'm doing a VOR flight, because SimBrief doesn't really do custom flight planning. Like, you can do a custom flight plan. What I'll do actually when I'm doing a custom flight plan is I'll come into SimBrief. I'll find VOR radial points like this, and I'll hit it. And then what you can do is you can actually do a manual flight plan in SimBrief. You plug in departure and arrival, and you just do your VORs, and then in Navigraph, you take that from Navigraph, put it in SimBrief, and then it gives you your fuel and stuff. SimBrief is most useful when you're doing VOR flights that go off of what it thinks you should do. If you're trying to get your fuel counts, you're trying to get a flight time, that kind of stuff. And it'll also give you kind of time from point to point so you can time it, which is nice. But yeah, I pretty much, unless I'm flying a DC-6, I'm letting SimBrief just calculate all the waypoints. There's no reason not to. All right, we are to RERIC. Let's get this on indicated airspeed. Let's make it 180 by the time we get to PDOV. Let's just pull it back a little bit here. All right, and once again, our landing speed is 121. Our flaps go full at 131. So, well, actually, we'll do 125. That's easier. Let's line up with the runway here. Activate approach mode. Activate approach phase. Confirm. Confirm. There we go. So, full flaps landing, Cat 3 single 211 is our decision altitude. Yep, there's a plane. Man, that boy is frozen. That makes sense. I wonder if that's somebody that paused their sim. Alright, so right now it's lining us up with our approach. We've grab the localizer. Once we grab the vertical indicator, it'll start our descent right around DB 657. We'll start descending a little bit. We'll drop our gear here in a second, and we'll just make sure our barometric pressure is right. Okay, there we are. There's the runway lined up. Let's drop our gear down. There we go. All right, now we can start cranking back on our vertical speed while we descend here. Arm spoilers, flaps are at 2 right now. Bring them to 3. Got it. Let's go full flaps. All right. Disarm our auto throttle, take over manual control, keep our speed about 140. We want to end up, let's actually just set this to 137 so we know what our marker is without having to read it. Let's throttle up a little bit. There's our lag from running over all the buildings. Look at that. We're getting like 20 frames. Alright, well, let's get our landing lights on. That would be nice to have, right? Beacon, call everyone. There's a plane waiting for us to land right there. I can see him. Alright. Oh, let's arm our auto brake. Disengage autopilot. Nice and easy down the center. Cut the throttle. Reversers. Nose down. Cut auto brakes. And cut reversers. And let's see, can we make this turn off? I'll go to the next one. Sorry to that chump right there that just had to do a go around, but I was not waiting. And there we have it. We are in Dubai. It's been about 2 hours and 45 minutes on the flight time. So that thing was, SimBrief was pretty much spot on with their time. Let's go over to one of these stands over here and we'll just park up. Not too worried. There we go. That was a pretty smooth landing. We'll have to check the statistics from Volanta here in a second, but I'm pretty sure that was like one of the better landings I've had. And we shall park right over here. Never turned our taxi lights on, that's fine. Nice long butter landing. Yep, that was pretty sweet, I would say. Let's get all of our lights off. And shut down the engines. I would say that's one of our better landings that we've had. Let's get on Navigraph. Volanta here. 250, and it said 245. That is remarkable how on track that was. Let's end the flight, review it. I'll bring you over to this screen so we can see what our statistics were. 1.07, 136 landing speed, landing rate -167. That was awesome. You did the Arab Emirates for the first time. Yep, that was one of our better landings. I didn't know it landed so smooth. I know. That was awesome. I figured once I figured out what to actually do for my vertical approach speed in an A320, it's been a lot better. But yeah, that was a really fun stream, guys. I don't know if Soda stuck around the whole time, but I'm sure he will enjoy the replay when he watches it later. But thank you guys so much for watching. It was a long stream, about 3 hours on the dot, but I had a lot of fun. And I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm probably going to fly A320s all week. I'm kind of over flying the DC-6. It's a little too much work. Takes a little too long to fly. Don't really get to go anywhere. So I'm going to reschedule all my DC-6 flights for A320s. And yeah, I will. Yeah, Ian, thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for being here the whole time. I'll see you tomorrow for sure. And if you haven't liked the video, like it yet. Like it. Bleh, if you haven't liked it already, like the video. Drop a comment. It helps me get some traction. And hopefully we can get some more subs and some more people on board. So